Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Bandai Tamashii Nation Star Wars movie realization, Ronin Boba Fett. For all the upcoming Japanese Star Wars figures, head on over to Big Bad Toy Store. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, if you've seen my previous reviews of the Samurai Darth Vader and a Shigeru Stormtrooper, you'll know that I absolutely love this unique take on the Star Wars characters. And when I saw the prototype photos put up by Bandai for this Boba Fett, there was no way that I was ever going to miss out on this particular figure. And I have to say straight up that they have absolutely knocked this out of the park. I love pretty much everything about this figure, from the color, the detail, the articulation, and just the overall style and attention to detail in the weapons and accessories. It's pretty much one of the standout figures for me this year for 2015. So I'll just quickly go through the packaging. It's the usual nice classy style of this movie realization series. So you get a nice close-up shot of the figure there, and on the back a few pose options and a rundown of all the accessories. And everything inside is clamshell and collector friendly, so it's very nicely and classily done by Bandai. I'll quickly go through the accessories. Now it does have his backpack and rocket launcher and so on. The instructions do say that this top part for the rocket can be removed, but it's pretty damn tight and I haven't been able to remove it, so I'm not even going to bother trying. But overall, the metallic paint application and the sort of design there is pretty damn nice. Now these bits on the bottom here do seem to be a little bit flexible. They do rotate slightly, but I wouldn't try playing around with them too much just in case you snap that off. The styling, I wouldn't actually say the styling sort of speaks too much Japanese to me, but I guess it's almost more Indian if you ask me with these sort of tips and so on. But still, overall, it is a pretty nice accessory. And you'll see the peg here, and it pretty much just fits in the hole at the back there, and it goes in fairly easily, so no major issue there. Probably the best accessory for me is his rifle. The detailing in this is just, I love it. I love the sort of metallic and almost bronze sort of dirt wash on the side there. The detailing in all the sort of parts, metallic parts and wooden parts of the rifle. So really nicely done. And it's got this little flint thing that does articulate up, so you can sort of move that up if you so wish. But I'll probably leave it down just in case I snap that off. But overall, it's a really nice sort of olden sort of style representation of his classic rifle. He also comes with his sword, of course. So I think it's the same length as the Stormtrooper. I'll grab the other figures in a second. Actually, I think it might be a bit shorter, but I'll confirm that towards the end of the review. But the detail on the hilt is pretty much the same sort of detailing on the Stormtrooper, so it's not rope or anything, it's just plastic, but fairly nicely done. And the blade itself is a nice sort of metallic silver, and this time instead of the sort of brownish color of the Stormtroopers, it's a nice sort of green Boba Fett color. So you just slide it in there fairly nicely. Now I'm still not sure, to be honest, if he's meant to have it through there angled down like so, or angled up like so. On the artwork it does angle up, but I've been told that it should be angling down, so as they draw the weapon, the blade is facing forward like that. So I don't know if you have any ideas on how these swords are meant to be worn, or even if there's no sort of issue which way it is, just comment below and let me know what you think about that. Each of the little daggers that you can put into his shins is all included, although this one here is for his gauntlet on his left arm. So I'll just show you that. So on his left arm here, it's got this little indentation, which I think on the classic figure is his flamethrower, I think. I think it's his flamethrower. But here, of course, it's a dagger. And you don't slide it in. You pretty much just clip it in like so. So it is a snug fit, but just be careful, it might come off, and you don't want to be losing that thing. So it does look pretty nice like that. I do like that concept. And all of the daggers, the instruction book pretty much tells you how they should go. So on his left leg you have 3 daggers, and on his right here you have space for 2. So I'll just give you a close-up of all of those. So this is one that's quite nicely done. I'm not sure what this is, if this is like some sort of mini, I don't think it's a pistol, or if it's like a it almost looks like a shaver or something. You know, flip the blade out or something like that, but that's another option there. Also comes with another sort of little dagger, and then this sort of bluntish dagger thing with some sort of hook thing on the end, which I'm not quite sure what is for. And then lastly, I think it comes with this one with the little ring on the tip. So that's all of the daggers, and I think you just, I haven't actually tried it to be honest, I think you just clip it in there like so, through the little indentations there. So I'll set it up afterwards and give you guys a look at that. And then of course he comes with the huge array of hands. So altogether he comes with 10 hands. So you have sort of gun sort of tip holding hands, you get the sword holding hands, and of course you get the rifle itself, where he's got the finger to put through the trigger. And overall the detailing is not too bad. I'll just give you guys a close-up. So the colouring of the green isn't too bright or anything like that, but it has sort of the nice little details with that little brown ring there, and the sort of gloved grey areas. So overall it's not too bad, and the swap out is pretty much on par with the previous Darth Vader and Stormtrooper figure, so nothing too difficult. They are pretty hard plastic, so I'd just probably be, if you're going to be using the rifle, I'd probably be a little bit careful of paint rub, but you know, you might want to use a bit of hot water to just soften that up, and then put it through the hand. So just be careful of that. The instructions do actually talk about a bit of paint rub if you put this on the sword holster, so be careful of that as well. But I'll give you guys a closer look at the figure now. Hold on. Alright, so here is the figure, and the detailing on this is just amazing. I mean, I really did love the Vader and Stormtrooper figures, but just the extra sort of variant on this, and the way they've done the armor and the helmet is really nice. So you get a good look at the face mask and his iconic sort of T-shape there. The paint there's no real bleed or anything on the paint application, so they've done that really well. The viewfinder here does fold down, so you can sort of get that look, and I love the sort of detailing on the tip of that with the red tips and so on. I'm not sure if that's supposed to look like a dragon or something, but that is just, I love that detail. The previous figures on the helmet, I think all of these ridges were, they had gaps through them. I'm not sure if there was a problem with those things becoming unglued or not, but on this particular figure they all look like they're pretty much glued shut, so a bit glued on a bit better than the previous figures. But they still have all the detailing in the sort of black patterning, a bit of silver there, and you know, his iconic bullet mark or dent in his helmet, you know, even on the vest there. It just looks really nice. I love how the shoulder the pauldrons here look quite nice. I think they're on a ball joint similar to the Stormtrooper, but I'm not quite sure, so just be careful how you do that. You do not want to snap that off, because you know, on this side he's got the Wookiee braids, and I think there you can just sort of make it out there. I think they're just glued on underneath or something like that, so just be careful you don't snap those off. But I would have thought that these hindered the articulation, but they don't do that at all. So with the arms, you can pretty much swing them up quite a long way, and you know, the armor pretty much just you know, goes with it, or barely moves at all. The shoulder joint, you know, it is on a bit of a butterfly joint there, but you can get the sort of full range of motion. There is the bicep swivel here, and then there's the double jointed elbow, and it also does have an elbow swivel. The elbow swivel works a little bit better on this side, so you can sort of see the joint rotating there. So plenty of articulation there. You get the usual articulation in the wrist and rotation. So on the upper half of the body, it's pretty damn good. You get the sort of ball joint on the waist there, so lots of range of motion for all the sort of poses and flight poses as well. And there's a bit of a gap there, so not too much risk of paint rub on the inner plate there. But on that plate, I love that chest armor. You got his insignia there, which is nicely done. And the sort of green is not too bright. I would have thought they'd probably make it an even sort of darker green. It's a bit too light, I guess, but it still looks pretty nice. And the back is similar there, and these Wookiee braids extend on the back as well. So these are just very, very soft plastic, but the detailing and paint application is pretty nice. The cape, again similar to the Wookiee braids, is sort of just stuck in there. It's almost free floating, but I'm not quite sure how it's attached under there, and I can't quite lift that up to see, so just be careful. It does seem to rotate like this, so I don't know if it's on some sort of hinge or something up there, but I would be actually, I can just make out that it's on some sort of ring around there, so it must be a ring around that ball joint. So I don't know, it's pretty soft plastic, but just be careful. It's got a nice sort of tattered paint application and molding there as well, which looks pretty good. The rest of the detailing around the skirt, or the kama, I guess you want to call it, is pretty similar to the other figures, but just the paint application. I love the sort of rusted look here along the armor there. These are armor plates, and you get his iconic pouches along his belt. So those are the iconic grey ones on his trousers, I guess, and these are the brown ones on his belt. So they've you know, kept all of that detail in, but just sort of done their Japanese take on it, and it's just bloody awesome. This sort of green flap at the front here is soft plastic, so it doesn't really hinder the articulation. These don't lift up too much, but you can sort of catch a glimpse of his sort of puffy trousers under there. And his legs are on the ball joints, and they do rotate quite well, but I'd probably be careful with all these things in the way. The knees are on a double joint, so the bottom one moves quite a lot easier, but this top one here, you just need to sort of move it and force it in that direction, and you'll see that rotate. So and they don't look too bad from both sides. And I do like the extra sort of molding and detailing on the shin panels there. The ankles, they do rotate up and down quite well, and they do turn from side to side, but on my Stormtrooper, I have two Stormtroopers, and one of them I actually ended up snapping the ankle joint, and I tried doing that because I do like to have the figures with a pose out wide and their feet flat on the ground. So these ones don't really have much decent ankle rocking motion. They tilt quite well, but and they rotate quite well, but the ankle rocking motion, for some reason, it just doesn't work for me too well. So I'm not going to try that with the Boba Fett figure. I did manage to get a replacement black joint for my Stormtrooper, but these ones are grey, so I don't want to snap that off and run the risk of not being able to replace it. The moulding on the feet there, just give you guys a close-up of that. I just love the boots. I love the sort of thong style, or flip-flops as you call them in America. The metal sole and the tips of his shoes there, they just look fantastic. And the detailing in his shins. And his iconic sort of orange or yellow knee pads. So overall, they've captured pretty much all the key elements of the iconic Boba Fett costume, but with their sort of unique Japanese take, and with the sort of awesome articulation that these figures have come with. I think you can get them into some pretty amazing poses. So I can't recommend this figure enough. I'll grab the other two from the line and finish up the review. Hold on. Alright, so I've finished posing up Boba Fett and putting all the accessories on there. Just a word of warning. The shin tool here is very, very difficult to put on. It took me quite a few goes to try and clip that in. The others aren't so bad, but this one on the edge, you might want to either heat it up or do something to try and get it in there better. And definitely with the hands, I would highly recommend heating them up in some water to not rub the paint. Once they're heated up, they do go over the sort of hilt there and the handle and this part here quite easily, so definitely do that. But having them all posed up together really shows how awesome this line of figures looks on display. It's going to be a unique sort of Star Wars collection for many years to come. I don't think there's anything else out there that even comes close to this sort of artistic style or variant. Everything is pretty much either a 12, 1/6 scale or 6-inch movie representation, whereas this is a more unique take that is more of a conversation piece in any collection. A lot of my friends come over and gravitate to these ones and ask questions about these because they are very different, but pay homage to that sort of Japanese style that George Lucas had when he sort of designed these sort of outfits. He took a lot of inspiration from the Japanese sort of samurai style, so I think these are fantastic figures. So I'll just give you a look all around. I think Boba Fett is just slightly shorter than Vader, so probably on par with the Stormtrooper height that you can see there. But they do have the Royal Guard coming and the Sand Trooper as well, which are apparently Tamashii exclusives in Japan, so you can't get it at any of the other Asian stores. But if you click the link in the description, you'll head on over to Big Bad Toy Store, who does have the Royal Guard and the Sand Trooper, and I've ordered 2 of the Sand Troopers and 2 of the Royal Guards just to pose up. And I do have the I can't remember what they call it, the other variant of Vader coming up as well. So hopefully you can subscribe and stick around for all of those reviews coming up in 2016. But I do have the Sentinel Gatchaman G2 figure and the Legacy Revoltech Woody and Buzz figures as well in this particular haul from Big Bad Toy Store. So hopefully you can stick around for all that. Hope you guys like that quick look at Boba Fett. This Ronin Boba Fett is fantastic. Get out there and get it before the price skyrockets. So hopefully you can do all that. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.